In the heart of evergreen forest, where the trees stretched so high they seemed to touch the stars, lived a tiny barn owl named Pip. Pip wasn't the biggest bird, nor the loudest, but he had something special, a pair of keen eyes that could see through the darkest night. Every evening, as the sun slipped behind the hills, Pip would perch on his favorite branch, a sturdy, knobby oak that had weathered many storms. From there, he watched over the forest, listening for the rustle of leaves, the chirp of crickets, and the soft sighs of the wind. The other animals called him the Night Keeper because they trusted him to warn them of danger. One crisp autumn night, a fierce storm rolled in. The wind howled like a pack of wolves, and rain hammered the canopy. The forest creatures huddled in their burrows, nests, and hollow trunks, hoping the storm would pass quickly. Pip felt the cold seep into his feathers, but he stayed glued to his branch, eyes wide open. A sudden flash of lightning illuminated a small clearing where a family of field mice was trying to cross a shallow stream. The water was rising fast, and the little ones were slipping, their tiny paws losing grip. Pip saw the panic in their eyes. He could have stayed silent, waiting for the storm to end. He could have thought, "It's not my problem. I'm just a bird." But Pip remembered the promise he'd made to himself when he was a fledgling. "Even if I'm small, I'll protect what I can." So, despite the wind trying to push him off the branch, he flapped his wings hard and swooped down. Landing on a low branch near the stream, Pip hooted loudly, startling the mice. "Hold on," he cried. "Grab onto the roots. I'll pull you up." With his talons, he grasped a sturdy vine and, using all his strength, began to pull the frightened mice toward safety. The storm roared, the rain pelted his feathers, and his wings trembled, but he didn't give up. Finally, the last mouse clambered onto the dry bank, shivering but safe. The little family huddled together, grateful tears glistening in the dim light. Pip, exhausted, perched back on his oak and let out a soft, breathy hoot. The storm began to subside, and the forest fell into a hushed calm. When dawn broke, the sun painted the sky in shades of gold and pink. The forest awoke, and the animals gathered around Pip's oak to thank him. The oldest deer, whose antlers were scarred from many winters, stepped forward. "You saved us, Pip," the deer said, his voice gentle yet firm. "You didn't wait for someone else to act. You used what you had, your courage, your eyes, your wings, to help us. That's the kind of strength that matters, no matter how small you feel." Pip blinked his bright eyes and tucked his head modestly. He didn't need applause. The gratitude in the animals' faces was enough. Yet deep inside, he felt a warm glow, a reminder that even on days when everything feels heavy, taking one small step forward can change everything for someone else. From that day on, whenever a storm threatened the forest, Pip didn't hesitate. He would rise, shake off the rain, and do what he could, knowing that his effort mattered, even if the world outside seemed overwhelming. And sometimes, when the wind whispered through the trees at night, Pip would look up at the stars and think, I may be a tiny owl, but I'm part of something bigger. I'm not alone, and neither are you.